So, my friends, welcome to Sri Chaitanya. This is Umasankar. Now, mains dates they have been declared, and now this time on February 23rd onwards, mains first phase sessions are going on. So across the country, majority of the students are preparing for this kind of examinations. It's a prestigious examination after 12th passed or 12th appearing students. Of course, so many students, they have several doubts in their minds about the preparation and the strategies for coming 30 days or 50 days of the time duration, how to strengthen their preparation and how to score better and best marks in the coming examinations. So this is the main important area. Now, especially in mains is the one of the, as far as my experience is concerned, it is one of the easiest and important examination and nationwide competitive examination. Here, chemistry play a very good role to score better rank and better percentile, thereby achieving the all India best ranks. So now, with us, our great eminent professor Lawrence sir is there, and he has produced so many ranks in IIT as well as mains. Even last year also, he got and he had from his campus he has produced from Sri Chaitanya. He has produced second rank in the mains and second rank in advanced and fourth rank in the mains, and more than 13 ranks from a single campus itself below 100 or something like that. That is the capacity of Sri Chaitanya that all you might have known it. Now, I'm taking his guidance, and with his able guidance, now he is giving the beautiful tips how to prepare the entire chemistry in the coming 30 days of time. He will explain everything for you properly. And my friends, and please utilize this dais and hope it will useful for your preparation. So, Lawrence sir, how are you?
Oh, fine, thank you, sir.
And Happy New Year, sir. Now, our students, not only from Sri Chaitanya, through this video, what I'm going to say is, I am giving the complete awareness about the preparation for chemistry, because I think on February 23rd examination is going to conduct. Then my main question is how to get strengthened in chemistry and how to score very good marks in chemistry. And I have collected the main important questions from the students community. I am giving that questions for you. You please motivate our students, and with your able guidance, at least if they are scoring well, then my job, I will complete my job properly. Okay, sir. Now,
right, sir.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah.
What can you say about chemistry, sir? What is the role of chemistry in competitive examination first?
Sir, I think to get a good rank, I think the students preparing for this examinations, obviously they are bound to be good in maths and physics. There is no doubt about that. But add the proficiency in chemistry, I think the rank is going to be much, much better, because it is not physics and maths. Chemistry also has equal weightage. So if you give that importance to that subject, spend some time and analyze the previous year questions, accordingly prepare, I think you'll be able to do really well. There may be a little bit more of learning in chemistry. I think most of the students would have done that right now. So right now, I think if they revise the things what they already learned and equip themselves with the previous year questions and all, I think they should be able to do very, very well. And chemistry, I think it's a real percentage booster. If you know, you'll be able to do. If you don't know, you really can't touch. It's not like physics and maths. You can derive something and get something out of it. You have to learn. You have to know the things. And even if you take any part of chemistry, it's like there is no great relation between each other. So the thoroughness of the subject is very, very essential. If you have that, I think you can very easily score. What you score in 1 hour in physics or maths, you can manage that in 30 minutes in chemistry easily.
Great. Then, sir, my question is, what should be the plan for the last 30 days as far as chemistry is concerned?
Yeah, so the problem is there are no shortcuts in chemistry as such, like to score good. The thing is, number one, there are 3 parts: physical, organic, inorganic. And if you take a JEE mains paper, so you'll find almost equal weightage for all of them, 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. So there is no way you can leave out a chapter and focus on other chapters. Being said that, if the child hasn't done something so far, I think let them don't touch that chapter.
Okay. So actually, in chemistry, I think organic is there, physical is there, inorganic is there. In general, for to score more and best marks out of 100, getting more than 80 or 90 or 100 out of 100, which part is more important, and in general, student has to focus?
Yeah, to get a good mark, see for 100, I think they have to be proficient in all three. Okay, but then if they want a good marks, I think easiest one to score is physical, definitely physical. They can easily score, followed by inorganic. Organic, sometimes few questions get really tough. So physical, they don't go for very high applications. If they just learn nicely NCERT level and solve the index questions, as well as the exemplar problems and all, I think they should be able to do well in physical. The theory, I think they should not touch anything else, just NCERT, that's enough. And inorganic, again, just confined to NCERT, learn thoroughly the reactors which are there in NCERT without going here and there. I think that should be more than sufficient to score 100% in inorganic. Inorganic is something which I can definitely assure even above average students can score really 100% there. And organic, I think most of the questions they can do, but there may be 2 or 3 questions which are little high application based, because NCERT really doesn't have much, but they step out of NCERT a bit. So those questions they will struggle a little bit. Great. So my order is, I think inorganic is easiest, followed by physical and then organic.
Sir, actually NTA is giving the question papers, sir. For NTA especially, are they focusing any I think organic or inorganic or physical, something like that? Is any partiality there?
If we analyze last 2-year papers, I think there is really no focus on a particular topic, except that, in one of the papers in, I think last year January shift, there were 2 questions from chemistry in everyday life. That was unusual. Otherwise, we never had one topic being focused more. It is like 30 questions. Earlier 30 questions were there. I think 30 chapters, 30 units are there. One question they almost pick up like that. Really, it is very difficult to focus, but there are some chapters like periodic table, chemical bonding. These are not like evergreen, atomic structure. There will be always a question from them. They might hardly omit 1 or 2 chapters. We really cannot strategize for it and prepare. So you need to prepare all the chapters.
Okay. Sir, actually, in mathematics and physics in general, they are giving practical oriented questions and application oriented questions. Like that, is there any area in chemistry you need to focus for a mains exam?
Yeah, definitely. That is something that is very, very interesting. I think nowadays the shift, even not only in mains, even in advanced, they are shifting more to practical orientation. So chemistry, for example, titrations, they do in the lab. But mostly when people don't do, they will not know like what is all about burette, pipette, even conical flask all about. So it is very, very essential for the child to thoroughly go through the lab manual. There are NCERT lab manuals in the NCERT site itself available, or the lab manuals they would have used in the school. So they have to use that lab manual, read through completely. Titrations, for example, like what is the solution taken in burette, what is taken in pipette. The experimental details are very, very essential. Once they asked a question even on Bunsen burner, which part is the hottest part of the flame, that kind of things, unless and until the child reads specifically, unfortunately, even we don't teach much. So we just tend to overlook. We are spending a lot of time on doing the numericals and all. So this is something that really they need to focus. Pick up on lab manual and read through the procedure. I think that should really help them.
So there may be one question. What is the best material for coming 30 days of preparation to strengthen chemistry?
First of all, identify your strong areas. The student has to identify these are their strong areas, what they have done nicely so far, and focus on only that and not worrying about the weakness. Because weakness, there may be one question or not. Okay, it may not be there. But with the guidance that you had for 2 years or more than that, I think the child would have really prepared well. So I'm not expecting them to have left out some chapters, but if you left out something, you leave it. But then focus on your strengths rather than worrying about the other. Being said that, make a 30-day plan. Say, for example, chemistry. Like I can divide easily into 10 units. You can take any previous year question bank or anything. I can divide it into 10 units. And one day you spend on 1 unit. See whether you know everything. If you know, have some good practice, and close the chapter.
Oh,
and
could you elaborately give that plan? That 30 days plan, how to prepare?
For example, physical, if you take basic concepts of chemistry, 1 unit you can take it to be structure of atoms, classification of elements, periodic table, states of matter, thermodynamics. Like every chapter you can consider to be unit in like first year chemistry. And same way, second year, I think few chapters you can mix together, like alkyl halides, aryl halides, alcohol, phenols, ethers. There is not too much, so you can take it as 1 unit. Club 2 chapters of organic together as 1 unit, and divide the whole thing into 10 units. Same inorganic as well. So inorganic, we have got S block, we have got P block. I think every group has to be treated separately. D block, coordination complexes, metallurgy, like same way, coordination complexes, and a little bit of analytical chemistry. Like that, divide that into 10 units and spend 1 day on that unit. If you already know thoroughly, so leave it and go for practice. If you don't know, you revise that once. So follow a regular plan. That will be really helping you, instead of just trying to make out like what I know, what I don't know, instead of dreaming just like that. Exactly. Have something on the paper, divide that into 30 units of your comfort. It's not my view, like your comfort. You divide like that and look at, reflect on that unit, whether you know everything or not. You just recollect in your mind. If you don't know something, you just focus on that particular chapter. Just try to.
Sir, one doubt is there actually. As far as chemistry is concerned, everybody is saying that prepare NCERT, prepare NCERT. My question is, how to prepare NCERT? How to use NCERT? Because reading NCERT book, it takes time. Then in which area we need to focus more and emphasis more on NCERT textbooks? Because in general, students are getting a doubt in this particular one. Could you clarify this?
Yeah, so the thing is that if they take a chapter, there will be some storylines initially. I think that part is something that they can overlook. And then quickly running through, you have to read it thoroughly. You have to read it once, and just probably if the child was serious, you'd have already underlined things.
Okay.
There is no need to read every line just like that. Right now, I think it is not the time to read every line of NCERT. Okay. So instead, just go through, and like you will come across some points which you have not really seen. Okay, probably that kind of points you can highlight quickly and reflect on that. And most important thing is the index question. There are many instances they picked up without not even changing the numerical values. They picked up such questions and asked in the mains papers. Because the reason is we tend to neglect, and different boards do not follow the same book. NCERT is not being followed by everyone. Yeah. So because of that, they directly pick up the questions. So you solve the index questions and the exercise questions.
Index means the text, what is called exemplar problems.
Index question. It is written as index question inside the text only. Achha. There are solved questions as well as there are unsolved questions.
Sir, index questions and exemplar problems are different. Is there
exemplar is another book. Exemplar is altogether another book.
Okay.
So in NCERT itself, there are index questions. Some are solved and some are not solved, and there are some exercise questions as well. Okay. So all those numericals they can do. And exemplar is a good collection. Again, a good collection of objective problems, right, as well as numericals and matrix matching types and all. So they can practice that as well. Because right now, instead of picking up any book and solving, they can focus on reading NCERT, doing the question inside NCERT, exemplar problems, and more important than, I think if they pick up 2020, 19, and 18, probably 3 years, or at the most 5 years, previous year question bank, I think that's more than enough. I think they will be able to only do that at this time.
So what is the order? First need to concentrate NCERT, after that index and that exemplar problems, and is there any specific order to prepare or to complete any topic?
The main thing is what is the level at which the student is right now, because any student will feel I'm thorough with this chapter. If you feel like you are thorough with the chapter, straightforward start with previous year questions. Don't read NCERT, don't touch anything else. You straightforward read directly, you do previous year JEEMAIN's question. If you are able to crack all the questions, well, happy, that's all, keep it aside. And because almost in every unit I was going through, about 60 to 70 questions are there. In 2015 onwards, like 2015 to 20 questions if you take also, you are getting about 50 to 70 questions. That's more than enough for a chapter to be practiced at this stage. So if you are feeling comfortable with a particular topic, do the questions first and then go back to reading the theory. And if you feel I need to revise the formulae, I don't remember the formulae and all, revise that and then jump into the questions. And I'll keep exemplar at the end. Exemplar at the end.
So exemplar is
you need to waste a lot of time at the beginning. First you do previous year questions. The chapters you are feeling like you need some more practice, you just go for exemplar.
Great, great. Sir, actually now in changed pattern of JEE mains, now they are giving 10 numerical value based questions instead of 5, because last year it was just 5 questions only for each and every subject. They had given only 25 questions. Now this time they are giving 30 questions. Of that 10 are exclusively for numerical value based. What can you suggest about numerical value based questions, and which kind of questions that in general they may focus, and is there any difficulty of the questions with 2019 and 2020 pattern of JEE mains examinations?
Yeah, sir, the issue was, if you look at last year papers also, almost there are no questions like the student did not get idea or they were unable to solve. I really don't understand why they have to give options in numerical type. Okay, anyway, that is their decision. But the thing is, the problem here is getting the right answer. And the ranges are very, very small, very, very small. They're not giving good ranges, very small. So child has to be really accurate with the calculations. It is just testing the ability of calculation rather than the problems are really idea problems. And as far as type of questions are concerned, I think they have asked from organic, inorganic, as well as physical.
Okay.
So we just really cannot vouch for like what they will really focus on. But my real worry is more than even advanced, the mains numerical value types were really calculation oriented, too much of calculation. So they have to practice for that.
Is there any
I think they can take the previous year questions and practice well. That's good enough.
Sir, is there any advantage that a student prepare previous JEE advanced paper chemistry questions for mains?
I don't think so.
Huh?
Okay, so it's not of. I don't think the numericals will be of help because the level of the numericals is way low. Okay, compared to JEE Advanced. And JEE Advanced, it was multiple concept integrated questions. They were testing more of, I think, concepts rather than getting the numerical just like that. They would give, like 2.303 RT equal to this value you use, and it means you don't get to see that. Okay. So they have to really calculate it. It is more of calculation oriented rather than really idea problems. Anyway, solving, I don't think so you'll have that much time to solve the JEE Advanced questions right now and prepare for mains. Rather, they can focus on last year sample papers are there. I think last year questions are there. Year before questions are there. We have got quite a lot of questions. Question papers of JEE mains after NDA coming to picture. So they can practice those instead of focusing on JEE Advanced questions right now.
In general, for a regular candidate, for a slow learner candidate, how many hours do we require in preparation for chemistry exclusively?
So slow learners, I think for them, the students generally, those are weak, we say. So they are weak in physics and maths, generally. We don't say like those people will feel more comfortable with chemistry.
Yeah.
So I think they can spend a bit more time, maybe half the time they can devote for chemistry and strengthen and try to get 80, 90 in that. I think that is pretty easy for them. Yeah. Because their analytical skills are something they might lack, but that is really not required. So much is not required for chemistry. If they focus on previous year questions, some 4 or 5 year questions properly and practice right now, I think it will be a real boost for them. Suppose, maybe half the time they let them on chemistry. Yeah.
Okay. Suppose if I am a slow learner student, in coming these 30 days of time, which topics I need to focus? Because with these topics, can I get more than 50 or 70 or 60 or 70 marks? Any specific topics and questions are guaranteed and compulsory will come from these particular areas.
Right. Periodic, I'll just close for chemical bonding first and periodic table.
Right.
And the structure of
chemical bonding.
They will generally okay with first year topics.
Okay.
And first year topics really have more weightage.
Right.
Okay. They do ask quite a few questions.
Right.
And chemical equilibrium, the examples which are there in NCERT, they can focus on. And second year, I think solid state is pretty easy and they can really score good. And surface chemistry, little laborious, they have to read, but again, a question is guaranteed It's like that. And if they have really trouble with the electro and all, they can leave it. And redox reaction, calculating oxidation number, balancing redox reactions, that kind of things they can focus on. And inorganic, you take from me anything from NCERT, I think they can always ask. Their coordination complexes.
For inorganic, NCERT is just sufficient or more than sufficient?
Sir, more than sufficient. For mains level, I think that's more than sufficient.
Even in inorganic also, which topics are best?
Sir, coordination, D block, okay, so metallurgy. Then I already told chemical bonding and periodical that comes in the purview of inorganic chemistry. They can focus on there, and anything related to structure. Focus on the structures more. If you are scared of reactions, I think you leave the reactions right now. So if you practice something well, you revise them once. Otherwise, you focus on these chapters. That should be good enough.
In organic chemistry, what topics are best? And which mechanisms and which reactions and areas are best?
The problem is organic is a part. Even JEE mains people step out of NCERT. Okay. They do ask something from NCERT. Some good questions are there. They do ask. But GOC is something which is not really dealt with in NCERT in depth. But they ask beautiful questions from GOC. So isomerism is treated very shabbily in NCERT. Very less is there. But they ask classic questions in this thing. So isomerism, what they prepared for advanced, they can revise that nicely. Structural as well as stereoisomerism thoroughly. EZ nomenclature, RS nomenclature, directly they are asking questions from there. So that also they can focus more. So GOC is something that they can vouch for. I think 2 or 3 questions you would get from there. And then first year, hydrocarbons is pretty important. And then aldehyde ketones is one part they will really focus more on. And biomolecules, that is learning, I think really they can manage that as well. Right. And yeah.
And shall we expect any numerical value based questions in organic chemistry? Also?
Yes, we do get because I can always ask number of structural isomers, a number of stereoisomers. That is something that you can ask, and reactivity based questions. How many of them are more reactive than the other? That kind of things. It's there. I think they had enough practice, at least in the advanced form. They had a lot of practice for that kind of integer type questions. And then even like they can make them to prepare, put the conversion and ask what is the molecular weight of the compound.
Okay.
That makes it integration between physical and organic. There can be nice questions asked.
Sir, actually in mathematics and physics, they are giving some mixed oriented questions. So the same that can we expect in chemistry also? Mixed oriented means problems from physical to organic and organic to inorganic, something like that.
Yes, that is possible. That is very much possible. But that is more of advanced than mains, I feel. Okay, but still, as I told you, I give a reaction. It looks like an organic question, but I can ask you to find the stoichiometric ratio or molecular weight or anything based on that. That becomes like integration between physical and organic.
Which reactions, reagents, and mechanisms are better and best for mains for a normal student?
Yeah, that is something little difficult, but I think one thing that I can tell looking at their papers, NDA papers especially, electrophilic aromatic substitution is something that they just don't miss. They just don't seem to miss. Okay. There are Friedel-Crafts, alkylation, acylation, intramolecular. I think all kinds of variants they put in those papers.
Okay.
And aldol condensation and the reduction of alkenes to alkenes, that kind of things. Okay, hydrocarbons in general, they're very good. And of course, there's aldol condensation or aldehydes and ketones. They can focus a bit more.
If I have stick on to just solving the previous year papers only, do they help me to score more in chemistry?
So definitely, I think they can easily go for 80 marks more than that. They can get by even just solving, not touching anything else. I think I can guarantee that because. Sir, 1 year, they made about 16 papers, you say. In that, if you say 1 chapter per concept, if they test also, okay, in a chapter, they would have made 16 questions. At least 10 questions, you say. I don't think so they learn. Almost everything is covered. If the child prepares just that, I think that should be enough to score either more than 75 marks, definitely.
Sir, what can you say about Sri Chaitanya's weekend examination papers and grand test papers and part test papers? Do they give any support and the clarity and the standards of the questions about the JEE examinations are matching with the papers of Sri Chaitanya?
Absolutely, sir. If you don't do that basic thing, like what are we training the students for?
Great.
I think that is our lifeline. I think that's the way that we have been preparing our papers, and especially in chemistry this year, we have made a conscious effort to almost mimic the previous year JEE papers and give, let it be advanced or mains.
Yeah.
I think the part test or the cumulative test, what we are conducting, mains or advanced, whatever it is, every teacher is ensuring that the person is in the model of JEE mains or advanced. So maybe there may be some language errors here and there once in a while or anything like that. Sparing that, I think we are up to the mark, if not more. Okay, we are just in the line of JEE mains and advanced. So if the child had a regular practice with that, I don't think so they'll find a JEE mains or advanced question so differently. But the thing that we see in both this thing is they innovate. They take the same concept and put in a different way. I think that way, I think we are also making them comes to true. So obviously they'll be able to do. Definitely they'll be able to.
If I am completely, as a Sri Chaitanya student, if I am completely stuck on to or confined to Sri Chaitanya papers only, do they help me to score 100 out of 100 in JEE mains?
Why not? See, the thing is, they are all based on previous JEE mains, and we are also trying to cover every concept. If the child is thorough with whatever papers, whatever questions they are thrown in front of them, I don't think they are going to find anything so different. There will be some innovations, but they are trained to handle the innovations.
Great, great.
Yeah.
So, what can you say about the standards of the question paper? I mean, so how many questions they are coming theoretical and medium level and high level, something like that. What is about the entire question paper, the structure of the question paper, nature and...
I think after NTA coming into picture, you're asking about NTA questions?
Exactly. I am talking about NTA prepared JEE mains examination.
Yeah, exactly. I think after the NTA coming to picture, I think it looks like more structured, and they are trying to allot every topic questions. I think probably it is because of the too many papers they are conducting.